times out there it just looked really difficult for you guys on offense. What did they do that made it so?
They came ready to play. They wanted it obviously a little more than us. I got to be better. I'd be better in the protection game, in the pass game, in the run game, all of it. You know, it's anytime you turn it over 3 times, 2 in the red zone, and really you could count that last one, you know, driving, kind of going into the red zone. So that's a recipe for disaster.
What sort of answers did you guys find at halftime that allowed you to start driving down the field and having a little bit more success in the third quarter and in the fourth?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like early on, kind of beating ourselves, and getting credit to them for coming out and playing. We got to be better.
Josh, you said they seem to want it more. I don't want to misquote you in that case. This time of the year in a division game, is that a surprise to you for your team that has done so well recently to come out like this today?
I mean, yeah. I mean, but again, that starts with me. So I gotta be better. You know, starts with a better week of practice. Watch this one, learn from it, get on to next week.
Do you feel like you guys were flat?
Getting stopped on 3rd and 2, where I could have done something different there. 4th down, they made a good play. So the first 2 drives just didn't really set us up great. But again, it comes down to execution, and we didn't execute.
What happened on that interception in the end zone?
I was trying to get it to Shavers, the deep in cut, and just wasn't really able to step into it. They brought 0. Really didn't allow myself to step into the throw.
Did you feel like the game plan that was put in place put your guys in a position to be successful?
I think so. Again, starts with me, but we didn't execute. I didn't execute.
I know you're able to hit Keon for that 35-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter, but why is it, in your estimation, been so difficult to push the ball down the field early in the game and then certainly earlier in the year too?
I got to give guys chances.
Do you feel like Keon is doing enough with the chances that he's been getting?
I mean, got one today, so yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey guys.
Okay, give credit to the Dolphins. We didn't play well enough today, and didn't play a complimentary game. We came out, started slow. I think we had 4 or 5 3-and-outs there in the first half. Picked it up a little bit in the second half, turned the ball over. Defensively, I thought we did some good things, and then we gave up 2 big runs towards the end there. So a lot to work on, a lot to improve, so we learned from it.
Sean, on Wednesday, Brandon said he believed that the roster was of championship quality or championship caliber. After a performance like that, what is your confidence level that is indeed the case?
I love these players. I do. I love the guys in that locker room.
Why do you think, and a couple of the guys mentioned coming out flat, for lack of a better term, or maybe just not ready at the start the way they needed to be, given where you guys are in the standings in the playoff race, where they are, quite frankly, at 2-7, how does that happen against a team like that, knowing the situation that you guys are in?
Well, it's a week-to-week league. You got to bring your A game every week. We talk about that a lot. We really do, and we work our tails off during the week to come out, to your point, and play better and coach better and perform better overall. It didn't happen.
You had said during the week that you had liked the attitude that you had seen, particularly from the bye week to now, that you had seen an improvement in that regard. Do you feel like that took a step backwards today?
Yes. Yep.
Coach, you always talk about, it starts up front battle of the line of scrimmage. What were your observations of the line of scrimmage battle?
And it's not that, Jay, it's not that the guys weren't trying out there. That's not what I'm saying, and that's not what I was alluding to before the bye. It's come out and control the game early and play a certain way with a certain style, and we didn't do that today. And so that's why we got the result we got, especially in the first half. And then we're chasing the game. They were in control of the game for the first half, and then in the second half we were chasing the game, which is a hard way to play. And I thought we made some plays in the second half, not enough. And then we turned the ball over 3 times. It's tough to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over 3 times. So I want to make sure you understand the context of what I was saying.
Line of scrimmage is
what you talked about a lot, it starts up front. Just what were your observations on both sides of the ball there at the line of scrimmage today?
Yeah, you know, they got the run game going early and wanted to control the game, and you know, I thought then we calmed it down a little bit in the second quarter and beyond, and then 8 minutes to go, I think roughly they have 16 points and second down and I believe 7, second 6, second 7, something like that, and they pop a run, and then pretty much the game was over after that. So I thought the defense battled. You know, we lose Landon there and playing DQ out at end a little bit to help us. Got some guys banged up, but no excuses. You know, we battled. Those guys were battling. Then, like I said, I think we were down 10 at that point, and then they popped the run. So just trying to get the ball back. So it looked like we had somebody in the hole right there, and you know, he's elusive. A-Shane, give him credit.
What did you make of Josh's day?
He made some like Josh style plays. I mean, he made some amazing plays, which he does. You know, just overall as an offense, it's never one person. Just getting off to a faster start, in a rhythm, controlling the line of scrimmage, being a two-dimensional offense. So got to look at the tape, but you know, just moving the chains. Got to move the chains in order to keep the defense off the field. I think we had the ball 5 or 6 times in the first half. I think 4 or 5 of those drives, 9 minutes total, maybe, you know, with between those drives, which is we're not holding the ball long enough. So we got to look at the film and figure out why we're not moving the chains enough right there, and doing so, controlling the game.
There are going to be times when you get behind the sticks on offense. What do you need to see from your group that allows you to overcome those situations? Because it's been a through line in the games where you guys have struggled offensively.
Right, so first identifying what is causing us to get behind the sticks. Is it penalties? Is it negative plays and how they're being created? And then secondly is getting back on track. It's hard to convert 3rd and 11 plus in this league, and so you've got to get yourself back on schedule. How you do that is you know, by game plan, you know, depending on how the defense presents itself. But just too many 3rd down and longs and one-dimensional type situations.
Sean, I know you end up putting up numbers offensively as it goes along, but was the passing game good enough for most of the game when the running game maybe wasn't?
Yeah, I'm not worried about numbers. I'm not worried about numbers. Those aren't real numbers. I'm worried about moving the ball, controlling the game, playing our style of football on a more consistent basis, and that's what we got to make sure we get back to.
Sean, granted that you have to watch today's game back on film, but even before this, the passing offense has been having difficulties moving the ball in chunks down the air. So have you been able to put your finger on why that is and why you have been able to go to it when you kind of needed it too?
Again, just consistency, rhythm, I think, overall. I feel like, Joe, you know, in order to really dissect today's performance, I'd have to look at it. But I felt like there were some things and there were some times where we weren't open. So it's a combination of the two, right? So it's, again, never one thing. And Mike, going back to your question, not mean to cut you off, it's just I'm not really into yards. I'm into real yards in the meat of the game and moving the football. And we didn't do a good enough job there.
Sean, you mentioned the injury to Landon. You know, that, what happens last week to Hoyt, you know, you understand comes with playing football.
Yeah.
The number of guys you've had out, though, because of soft tissue stuff, hamstrings, groins, calves, has that been problematic for you, and is that something that organizationally you need to take a look at to prevent as much as is preventable, you know, as possible?
Yeah, and I said this, Jay, when you guys were asking me about the trades on, was it Wednesday or so, and you always want quality players. They help you, right? And the more we kind of get into the injuries and some of the guys that are going out, you know, you go down the depth chart. And so I appreciate the way that guys have stood up and stepped in and taken advantage of their opportunities. But you're knocking down, you know, you're getting down the list on there. So, but we will never use injuries as an excuse. We do need to continue to turn over every stone to figure out why this is happening. I feel like it's happened quite a bit year to year. This year is probably as much as I've been around. So, you know, I don't know what it is. I really don't. But we've got to figure that piece out pretty quickly here, and then year to year.
Is it a bit frustrating to have not, you know, hammered down as to why the passing offense hasn't been able to get it going consistently? I mean, you're now through week 10 and encroaching on the end of the season here. So is that a frustrating facet for you?
Well, it is because it's an important part of our offense. We've got a great quarterback, and you want to be able to move the ball two-dimensionally, and we should be able to move the ball with Josh through the air. But it can't just be one phase of your offense. It's got to be two working, in concert with one another. So you guys know I say this quite a bit. It starts up front with the line of scrimmage, controlling the line of scrimmage early, and that sets up other things. So that's what I look at first: is are we controlling the line of scrimmage, and then how does that set up our passing game? So no, they go hand in hand.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Travel, Sean.